Good morning. Wanted to say a word or two about iatrogenic effects. According to a definition I found on Google, this is an adjective meaning it would be an effect that's relating to illness caused by medical examination or treatment. So here is the medical treatment. This is using a CPAP and the headgear associated with it for treating sleep apnea. Excuse me, I need to take out my night guard. A treatment for bruxism, which means grinding the teeth at night. It's a thing that happens unconsciously. So I'm going to take off this headgear. One of the things that happens, I have discovered commonly with this particular headgear, is that it, because it presses along the face, there's this buildup of lymphatic fluids in the face that results in these puffy eyelids, puffy eye areas under the eye, the upper area, the lid itself. So this is one of the more extreme times. Not as bad as it sometimes gets. It can get so bad, so intense that it literally impairs my ability to open my eyes because there's so much fluid buildup. So as you can see, this makes me much prettier than usual. Takes several hours for this to subside. And I actually kind of preferred the older headgear, which I don't know if it's even available anymore. There's many different styles. It used to be a common style with a tube that came down the front of the face, and there was a pressure point on the forehead that would result in a red spot as the pressure was relieved in the morning, and blood flow went to that area, and that red spot would last a while. Couldn't wear eyeglasses when you had that headgear on. When I had that headgear on, with this kind, you can, but I'm not sure about this effect of having all my lymphatic fluids get congested. It's part of the body's maintenance systems. So other than this cosmetic effect with all this puffiness, what effect does it have? Is it impairing the lymphatic system, and to what degree? I don't know. Don't know enough about the lymphatic system. It's on my mental list of things to research. Used to know more decades ago. Anyway, so wow, I can even feel it down about this far. No, I think that's just the nerves noticing that the headgear isn't there anymore. This is a night guard. My version of it is just a molded piece of plastic that fits around my upper teeth, like so. And there are some occasional effects of this one, iatrogenic effects of this medical treatment. This one happens to be custom made by a dentist's office. And what can happen is there can be ways that my teeth grind during the night, and they create pressure points, particularly around these teeth here, so that there's more soreness and sensitivity to pressure. So for several hours, I need to be more careful how I chew or bite. Um, a lot of people I know are used to having to deal with these iatrogenic effects. One huge one is one that many people are experiencing right now. I'm not sure if it would be classified technically as iatrogenic. Um, Doing physical isolation as a result of risk management, reducing risk of contracting the coronavirus or spreading it, or potentially spreading it if you may potentially having the infection. One of the effects of that intervention is a lot of loneliness right now, and um, and there are many other effects coming into play as a result of uh, not being able to engage in a lot of activities and interests. So it it's affecting a lot of people in ways that are very pervasive throughout the aspects of their life. In similar ways, when someone has acquired multiple chemical sensitivities to a uh, moderate or severe degree, they need to isolate themselves from exposure or potential exposure to substances that cause symptoms or exacerbate existing symptoms or conditions, flare conditions. And so it has iatrogenic effects. Um, my understanding from the last survey stuff that I had read about that surveyed a lot of chemically sensitive people for what treatments they had tried and whether it was anywhere from a very negative experience, mildly negative, neutral, positive, very positively beneficial, that particular intervention. The only treatment that was found to have no negative effects in that survey was avoidance of exposures. However, I think what's going on right now with the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, um, and all the experiences people are having as a result of the disruption of their lives, ways of living, livelihoods, and the physical isolation that's being required to address this medical situation is highlighting that while there may be no direct negative effects in terms of symptoms related to the chemical sensitivities themselves, no immediate and direct effect, there are definitely a lot of other effects involved in treating severe chemical sensitivities with avoidance of exposures. Now, I'm not advocating that people with MCS run right out and go engage in activities that result in exposures that lead to exacerbation of symptoms. Um, However, it does help to explain some of the repeated behavior that people engage in and wonder why did I go out and do that thing and get that exposure? Well, maybe you needed some social contact. some live time with people. Maybe you needed to feel like you were part of the larger group of humanity. There could have been a lot of needs that you weren't aware of in play that were expressing their need to be met. I actually live in a custom designed and built modest house, a dwelling that was built specifically to address the needs of the chemically sensitive and with some electrical sensitivity design components in here as well. And it's been very beneficial for my health. I also moved across the continent from the East Coast to Arizona, the desert Southwest, for medical reasons, and that had that was it would be considered a medical treatment, and it's had profound effects on my life, beneficial, neutral, and unpleasant. Um, I had to reconcile myself to the fact that um, people get married, people die, and I'm not going to be able to travel to participate in ceremonies of those sorts related to those life events. Kids being born, nieces, nephews, grandkids. And at least when I was geographically much closer, there was the potential that occasionally I might be able to get out and take the hit of the exposure in order to participate in one of those events, at least for a limited amount of time. So the video conferencing platforms do help, and people's portable devices make things like that more possible now um, than they used to be. It's not the same as live interactions, of course. So many people know now. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful in some way. Take care. Namaste. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Have a good day, good night, good evening. Hope everyone is as well as is possible. Take care.